What the? Hey guys, it's Nathan. If you've been paying any attention at all to the keyboard aftermarket the past couple months, then you have probably heard of this switch, the Holy Panda, which has been about as volatile as crypto. Recently, I've seen it being sold for over $6 a switch, and this has undoubtedly been the hottest MX tactile switch of 2018. And then last month, Zeal did a huge mic drop. Zealios V2 more tactile than Holy Pandas. Well, today I'm gonna let you guys know my thoughts on the new Zealios V2. So Zeal has completely revamped all of his switches, and this video will be part of a series that goes over each of his new switches. The V2s will still be offered in the same weights that the V1s were and are still Zeal's line of tactile switches. Now, how tactile? I'm gonna say right off the bat, these new Zealios V2s are an entirely different switch from the Zealios V1 that we know. They are made from new molds, they have new housings, new springs, and new leaves, and they are extremely tactile. Zeal wasn't lying, guys. These switches are amazingly tactile. They're so tactile that you can hear the spring leaf reverb. They're so tactile that I lubed the legs of the stem, and they are still more tactile than Holy Pandas. By changing the angling of the leaf and stem legs, Zeal has created a truly tactile switch that is significantly more tactile than the Zealios V1 and the Holy Pandas. In my opinion, these switches are what Box Royals should have been. The problem with Box Royals was that it had no roundedness to the bump. While some may enjoy this, I personally prefer a more rounded tactility found in switches like Topra, Brown Alps, or the Holy Pandas. The Zealios V2 generate an enormous amount of tactility that isn't as painfully sharp as the Box Royals, while still maintaining that smoothness that Zeal switches are known for. In my opinion, these new Zealios also sound noticeably better than the old ones. While they still won't replace my favorite sound signature of cherry housings, the difference in sound is a welcome one, which is the biggest complaint people have had with Zeal switches. The tolerance of the housings have changed as well, and these Zealios have very little wobble. I personally don't mind wobble, but it is a nice addition if I don't have to spend the extra time putting switch films on a switch. Now you guys are all probably watching the video wondering when is he going to talk about whether these will make the Holy Panda market crash. Now I will talk about it, don't worry, but let's get the comparisons out first. The biggest difference between the new Zealios and Holy Pandas is the bump. While there is a bit of travel before encountering the bump on a Holy Panda, the new Zealios start right at the top of the bump. In my opinion, that little bit of pre-travel that the Holy Panda has, combined with the difference in angling of the leaf and stem leg, still lead me to believe that the Holy Panda has a slightly more rounded bump than Zeal V2s. The Zeal V2, however, far outshines the Holy Panda when it comes to switch wobble and smoothness, but depending on if you lube your switch or not, the latter may not matter as much. Like I mentioned earlier, I think this is a tactile switch that a lot of people can actually consider lubing the stem legs with, without worry of turning the switch into a linear switch. I lightly lubed the legs on mine with Krytox 205 grade 0, and they are still more tactile than a Holy Panda. And I think that had I lubed the leg more heavily, these new Zealios may have a more rounded feeling bump than it has right now, and be more to my taste. Since I recommend lubing the legs, one may even consider finally bag lubing tactile switches. So, can the search for Holy Pandas finally come to an end? In my opinion, no. The Zealios V2 aren't a replacement for the Holy Pandas, and I think rather Zeal has created another option for the enthusiasts out there that crave tactility. For anyone out there who thought that the Zealios V1 or Holy Pandas didn't satisfy their tactile desires, I think these will be a great hit. You can still expect the quality that Zeal brings to his switches, with the added benefit of a smooth, large, and somewhat rounded bump. For me personally, the level of difference in tactility between the Holy Panda and the new Zealios V2 is pretty noticeable, and I think there is a market for less tactile switches. While more tactility isn't a better or a worse thing, I think Zeal has definitely pushed the boundaries of what tactility an MX switch can bring about, but I think that the tactility of the Holy Panda is a lot more agreeable with more people. Not everyone prefers and craves tactility, but if you are someone who does, or want to know what the Holy Panda is about, and get something that is a lot cheaper than the Holy Panda. These Zealios V2s will be an amazing hit. Now, the only big difference between these two, other than the level of tactility, will be the acoustics. I will let you guys be the judge with a short typing test at the end of this video. Thank you so much to our sponsor Zeal PC for sponsoring this video. Of course, without him, I would not have had this early experience with the Zealios V2s, and of course this review. I do have a link to his store down below, so please make sure to check his store out and join the group buy for the Zeal V2s if you guys liked what I had to say about it. Please make sure to follow me on all the other platforms as well, and until next time, see you nerds. Push the boundaries of what tactility an MX switch can